Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be working on my REDCAT Gen 7 and installing some crazy upgrades. We're going to be installing brand new portal axles, motor, and servo just to make the car a little bit better than it already is. Let's get moving. I decided to go with the Hobbywing QuicRun 2-in-1 motor system, the 2300 kV version. Because from what I've heard, it's a great motor. It has a great e-brake. It's crazy fast, but it's not slow either, so it should be a perfect ratio for my car. I like being able to have the 2-in-1 system because I can remove my ESC and not have to worry about having one anymore. So it's just less cables, less to manage, and it helps keep a more simple setup in the car. It came with some basic stickers, a few cables here and there, and a few other basic things. I also decided to pick up a program card just in case I needed it, in case I want to make some small changes, make the e-brake stronger or less strong, anything like that. I just want to make sure I had it. The parts, they slid in really well. It had no issues. I was a little worried about the motor fitting, seeing how it is technically longer than the old one, but outside of that, it actually fit just fine. I had plenty of space, and in general, it's all smaller and more compact, so I really like that. I'm now going to move on to the axles, which is where the fun starts. I'm going to upgrade my axles to portal axles for not only better pumpkin and axle clearance, but it will lift my car a little bit, so it'll help with belly clearance too. This is altogether an advantage. One disadvantage about these axles, though, is that the gear ratio essentially just gets cut in half from the old one. So if I was going a certain speed, I'm going now half that speed. So it can be a bit of a disadvantage, but I'm hoping with this new motor, I won't notice it too much. I decided to start off with the rear axle just because I thought it'd be easier. I got no servo, not as much going on in the rear axle. So I got the old links out, got the shocks out, pulled the axles out, threw in the new one, put it all back together, no issues. It probably took me 15 to 20 minutes max, and I was so excited just how easy it was. I thought the front one would be like that too. It was not. Now it's time for the front axle. Now the front axle, normally, if you're skilled, not me, is very easy, but the problem that I was having is since the new axle moves the servo from an axle mounted servo to a frame mounted servo, it added in a new link behind it. So you have your servo arm link that connects to the axle, and then there's another arm behind it to keep the axle straight during its flexing process. The problem for me was it was doing the opposite. It was causing the axle to not flex at all. It was like fighting it. So when I installed the new shocks and links, everything was in, according to not only a YouTube video and instructions, it still would probably move that much. And I need way more flex than that. So it didn't work for me. So what I decided to do was remove that rear arm completely, and now it's working just fine. And that probably took me over an hour, and that's so annoying. But once I got the new axle in and everything was working properly, I threw on all 4 wheels and it was good to go. Now it's time for the absolute fun part of taking it out on its first test. The place that we will be doing the very first test of a brand new motor, servo, and axles is actually a car show technically. It's located in Roseville, and it's normally it's a Halloween themed car show that we went to, and we went to it last year, video link down below, and it was a really fun show. This year, I had my car with me and I didn't even go to the show. Behind the show, it has a whole bunch of ditches and rocks and stuff in there. So me, my mom, and Joe decided to all go down there and just rock crawl the whole time. We were ripping around, and it was actually a really fun time. The Gen 7 did absolutely amazing. I had very little to no issues. It was performing right exactly how I wanted it to, and the axle having that extra clearance was so nice and so convenient, seeing it just rip around. Now, I definitely noticed the 50% cut in power due to the new gear ratio. I 100% noticed that. I felt it in certain scenarios that I just wished I had more, but I think I can fix that by bumping my gear ratio up from motor to the transfer case. But that's in a later video. with the new motor having the drag brake that it has and it being so strong, I did notice going downhill and uphill, whenever I let off the gas, it was so nice to just have that cut and it stay there. It was not rolling, it didn't slide. I didn't have to worry about it nearly as much, and it was super nice and convenient. And then the new servo actually was a little disappointing because it wasn't powerful enough, which is my fault. I shouldn't have cheaped out on it. It was probably like 30 bucks. It's not powerful enough for what I need it to do. So eventually I want to upgrade to something much, much nicer. And due to its lack of power, when it would flex, the servo just was not strong enough to move the wheels in tight situations or move the whole car like I needed it to. So it's definitely going to need to get upgraded, but I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. Outside of that, it did amazing. It was ripping how I wanted it to. It was performing how I wanted it to. Having that extra clearance was so nice and so convenient. And having a nicer motor was also it was just all nice. It was all good. But now that everything's installed, the car has been very basic test. It wasn't nothing special. It's done, and I'm very happy with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely come back soon for another video. We'll be doing more testing on that. I want to take it to a few different places and really, really test those axles and the motor and the servo and put it to its absolute best and just see how it does. As is, I think it did great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.